The first hours. The sky breaks. Not clouds, not weather. The northwest horizon just breaks. 1 second ago, you were drumming your fingers on the steering wheel, half listening to a podcast about hiking trails in Wyoming. Now every car on the 6-lane interstate has stopped. Not slowed. Stopped. You don't know why you open the door. You just do. The sound hits you before your brain names it. A sustained thunderclap that doesn't end. It rolls across the flat highway and keeps rolling, low and chest deep, like the earth is clearing its throat. Around you, 50 car doors hang open. People stand on the hot asphalt in office clothes and flip-flops, all of them facing northwest. Nobody speaks. You look up. A column of gray-white smoke rises from the horizon. It is not a column. That word is too small. It is a tower the width of a state, already punching through the cloud layer, already eating the sun from that quarter of the sky. The left half of the world is still normal. Green highway signs lit, a fast food billboard advertising a summer burger deal, clean blue sky overhead. The right half is just that thing, that rising white-gray wall. 800 kilometers. Your brain offers the number and then takes it back because it means nothing. You can see it from 800 kilometers away, and it still fills a quarter of your sky. Your phone buzzes. Then again. Then it doesn't stop. You look at the screen. 17 emergency alerts. The first timestamp reads 11:04 a.m. The last reads 11:06 a.m. 2 minutes. 17 alerts in 2 minutes. You read the first one. Yellowstone. Eruption confirmed. Evacuate immediately. You read it twice. The podcast is still playing in your car. Someone is describing a waterfall near Jackson Hole, how beautiful it is in June. You don't turn it off. You just stand there on the asphalt, in the last ordinary moment you will ever have, watching the sky get wrong. Day 1. You walk 11 kilometers in dress shoes. You know this because your phone dies at 6:42 p.m. with the Maps app still open. Last reading? 11.3 kilometers covered. 4 hours and 12 minutes of walking. A blister on your left heel opens around hour 2, and you stop noticing it by hour 3. The car is gone before you're 2 kilometers from it. You come back for the water bottle you forgot, and a man in a gray Patagonia vest is already pulling out of your spot. Quarter tank of gas. He doesn't look at you. You let him go. You don't know why you let him go. You just do. The interstate becomes a river of people in office clothes, carrying laptop bags, grocery bags, a woman with a printer cradled against her chest. Nobody knows which direction is safe. You pick east because east is away from the column, and east is all you have. By late afternoon, the radio in an abandoned pickup gives you fragments. Denver is dark. Kansas City is evacuating on 6 hours' notice. A voice says, "Precursor event," and then the signal dies. Another voice says, "Main caldera," and you don't know which to believe. Nobody does. The cell towers go quiet in waves, west to east, like dominoes tipping in slow motion. You reach the truck stop at 9 p.m. 200 people fill a diner built for 40. Phone screens glow blue on every face. A wall-mounted TV loops the same orange emergency graphic. No sound. Outside, under the fuel pump canopy, a thin white film covers every car roof, every picnic table, every flat surface. You press your finger to the hood of a Kenworth and lift it. White powder, fine as talcum. Less than 0.1 millimeters. It coats your fingertip and doesn't feel like anything at all. You look up. The sky isn't dark. It's ochre brown, flat and total. The stars completely gone. The ash has been falling for 2 hours. Nobody noticed when it started. 1 week. The diner runs out of food on day 4. Not slowly, all at once. The last 2 cases of Campbell's soup go at 7 a.m. By 8 a.m., the manager locks the kitchen door. By 9 a.m., someone breaks the lock. Nothing is left anyway. You already know this. You ate your last meal the night before. Half a can of chickpeas, cold, shared with a woman in a yellow raincoat you never learned the name of. You trade your wedding band on day 5. A man near the register has 12 boxes of N95 masks in a Rubbermaid tub. He wants gold. You have gold. You walk away with 2 boxes, 40 masks total. Each mask runs about 8 hours before the PM 2.5 filter clogs gray and stiff. You do the math without being asked to. 40 masks, 8 hours each. You stop doing the math there. The convoy forms the same morning. 40 people. Someone finds a compass in a Ford F-150 glove box. The road signs are buried under 10 centimeters of ash, deep enough that the guardrails show only as low gray ridges on either side. Lane markings are gone. The road is a flat white plain between dead trees, every branch snapped and frosted, every surface the same uniform gray-white. The sky is a pale ceiling with no sun in it, just a dull glow directly overhead, like the inside of a fluorescent bulb behind frosted glass. You walk east in single file. 40 people look like a funeral procession, and you don't say that out loud. On day 6, the man 2 places behind you goes down. His name is something short. You never ask. He has asthma or emphysema, you don't know which, and he's been breathing hard since day 2. He drops at kilometer 9. Not dramatically, he just sits down in the ash. You and 2 others carry him on a folded tarp for 3 kilometers before he grabs your sleeve. He tells you to leave him. You give him a sleeping bag, 2 cans of beans, your second-to-last mask. You prop him under the concrete shadow of an overpass. The ash piles against the bridge support in a smooth white drift beside him. He tells you it's fine. You walk away. You don't look back. Not because you're hard, because you can't afford what looking back costs. 1 month. The town of Rockwell Creek was built for 8,000 people. There are 22,000 here now. You see it the moment the convoy crests the last hill. Main Street is buried knee-deep in gray ash, but someone has shoveled pathways between buildings, narrow trenches, hand-width walls on each side, gray packed hard as concrete. Every storefront is a shelter. Sleeping bags press against plate glass windows. Laundry hangs from awnings in the dead still air. No wind, no sun. The sky is a flat cream-gray lid, lighter than it was 2 weeks ago, but not by much. You stop checking the shortwave for news about Portland. The last signal you caught was 4 days ago. 17 seconds of a FEMA repeater cycling the same recorded message about ash dispersal zones. West of the Rockies is just static now. You know what static means. You've known for a week. You stop reaching for the dial. The greenhouse crew forms at 6 a.m. 14 people, 2 aluminum extension ladders, 8 snow shovels. You rope together in pairs, standard protocol, the crew leader says. He's a high school gym teacher named Nobody You'll Remember. The polycarbonate roof panels are rated 15 kilograms per square meter before they crack. Some sections are already carrying 20. You know this because you read the load specs stenciled on the end frame in black marker. You don't announce it. You just suggest they start at the ridgeline and push outward. Less cracking risk. Someone asks why. You tell them about the 15-kilogram rating. You explain the load math in 30 seconds. The gym teacher nods. People shift positions. By day 3 of the work crew, people stop asking the gym teacher where to start. They ask you. You don't have a title. You have a system. 4 zones, staggered rotation, weakest panels cleared first, scratched in marker on a piece of cardboard, taped to the ladder. Your hands are ash gray to the wrist, cracked at every knuckle. You don't notice anymore. 6 months. The paper envelopes weigh 15 grams each. You know this without looking at the scale. You weigh one anyway. Every time. The scale is a O-House mechanical, accurate to half a gram, and you trust it more than your own hands now. The gymnasium holds 340 kilograms of stored grain, winter wheat, rolled oats, a shrinking block of cornmeal in a sealed barrel. It sounds like a lot. Divided across 22,000 people, it is 15 grams each. 1 tablespoon. Supplement, not meal. You write every envelope in the ledger before it leaves the table. Row, date, family unit size, grams out. The headlamp makes a white circle on the page. Outside the high windows, the noon light is a yellow-gray smear, the same color at 12 p.m. as at 4 p.m. Frost crawls the glass from the bottom corners. People's breath steams in the queue that stretches through the double doors and down the hall and out of sight. You learned the word caloric floor 3 months ago. It means the minimum intake below which the body starts consuming muscle. Adults hit it at roughly 1,200 calories. The 15 grams buys maybe 50 calories on top of whatever else people scrape together. Foraged cattail root, field corn salvaged from ash-buried silos, whatever the hydroponic trays in the school corridors are producing this week. It is not enough alone. You know this. You write it in the ledger anyway. October. Global average temperature is down 2.1 degrees. The potato crop in the north fields failed at germination. The squash came up pale and thin, like something trying to apologize. You cut the supplemental ration from 18 grams to 15 on the first of the month. There is a girl, maybe 7, third in line most mornings with her father. She holds the envelope with both hands like it is fragile. You made the call. You move to the next name. You have not cried in 3 months. You noticed this the way you notice a tooth is missing, with your tongue, in the dark, once, and then you stop checking. The line moves. You weigh the next envelope. It reads 15 grams. You write it down. 1 year. The convoy appears on the western road at 0640. You see it before anyone radios you. 600 people, maybe more. They stretch back past the first ash-gray bend, carts piled with bundled children in plastic totes, tire tracks pressed deep into the dirty slush. The dead corn stalks on both sides of the road stand black against the ice. The sky above them is a pale yellow disk of sun ringed by nothing. Midday will look the same. You built the barricade in October. 90 meters of it, overturned combine frames, a John Deere tractor split down the middle, rebar mesh welded between axles with a propane torch. It took 11 people 4 days. You did not think you would use it for this. You walk to the front. The man at the head of the convoy is maybe 50, cracked lips, a canvas coat 4 sizes too large. He tells you they came from outside Salt Lake. 6 weeks on the road. He says they have 31 children under the age of 8. He says this slowly, like the number is a key. You already know the math. You have known it since the radio call at 0520. 22,000 people. 8 weeks of grain at current ration. Add 600 mouths and that drops to 6 weeks. 2 weeks is the gap between the second greenhouse yield coming online and everyone starving before it does. Not anymore. You tell him you're sorry. You tell him you cannot open the gate. You hear yourself say it in a voice that sounds like someone who has been saying hard things for a long time. He stares at you. Someone behind him starts to cry. A child, you think. Maybe not. You don't look away. You watch the convoy turn around. 600 people with carts and bundled children moving back into the ash-gray flat. The tire tracks from their approach stay pressed into the slush long after they are gone. The guards on the perimeter don't speak. Their hand-sewn armbands are gray with road dust. That night, you sit with your ration, 340 grams of grain porridge, full allocation, same as everyone else. You eat maybe half. You put the bowl down. You don't pick it up again. You write nothing in the ledger. For the first time in 6 months, nothing left the table today. 2 years. The courier comes in from the north at 1340, mud splattered to both knees, goggles fogged white at the edges. Her panniers carry 38 kilograms of rye seed stock, 2 kilos under capacity, because one bag split somewhere past the Route 4 marker. You can see the grain silo in the distance behind her, the number 4, sprayed in orange paint 4 meters high. Hand-lettered signs at the crossroads point to names that didn't exist 2 years ago. Harrow Junction, Millfield, Cold Creek. 7 settlements, 200 kilometers of corridor. It runs because people keep running it. You are the auditor. You learn what that word means out here. It doesn't mean paperwork. It means when Harrow Junction stops receiving its allocation and the radio calls start coming in at 0300, you go. You ride the corridor. You count the bags. You check the numbers against the ledger. You learn what people look like when they're lying. You learn what they look like when they're scared. They look the same. The evidence against Millfield's leader takes you 4 days to build. Seed logs, courier manifests, a discrepancy of 140 kilograms across 6 weeks. His inner circle ate well. You saw their faces, not hollow, not sharp. Fed. In a settlement where the standard ration is 310 grams a day, fed faces are evidence. You present everything to Millfield's community assembly on a Thursday. 41 people in a repurposed pole barn, walls patched with flattened fuel drums, salvaged work lights strung from the rafters on orange extension cord. You lay the manifests on the table. You read the numbers. You don't editorialize. The room gets loud. Then it gets quiet. Then it gets loud again. He calls you a liar. Someone throws something. It misses. You knew this would happen. You knew before you left that he would be removed. You came anyway. The vote is 31-10. You walk out of that barn into the pale blue-gray dusk. The sky is wrong still, streaked, washed out. Not the sky from before, but there is more light in it than there was 6 months ago. You notice that. You don't feel it. The corridor stays open. The seed stock moves. 40 kilograms at a time, 200 kilometers at a time, one hard choice at a time. Nobody thanks you. That's not what this is. 5 years. The sky is pale blue. Not the color you remember. Thinner, cooler. Like sky seen through dirty glass. But blue. Real blue. High cloud streaks the upper atmosphere in white bands, not ash. You stand at the edge of 12 hectares of wheat north of the old Des Moines ruins, and you look up for a long moment before you look at the field. Then you look at the field. People in patched canvas jackets and worn rubber boots move through the rows with scavenged sickles. The blades catch the flat light. One repaired combine, yellow paint faded to cream, cab roof welded with a steel rack someone bolted on for tool storage, crawls the eastern third of the field at 3 kilometers per hour. Dried gray ash crusts the field's edges in thin ridges, pushed there by 2 seasons of rain. The horizon behind the workers shows no power lines, no barns. Only low, sod-roof shelters, dug out to the shoulders, with stovepipes and hand-stacked stone windbreaks. 8 tons, 12 hectares. Someone calls the number out, and people stop cutting for 3 seconds. Then they keep cutting. A child stands near the field's edge, 4 years old, born 18 months after the eruption, wearing boots 2 sizes too large, stuffed at the toe with wool scraps. She holds a single wheat stalk up to her eyes, turning it slowly, examining each node like it's a question. She is not afraid of it. She is not in awe of it. She is just looking. This is her world. It is not broken to her. It is simply the world. You watch her for a while. Later, near the shelter line, she asks you what the word supermarket means. You start to explain. Rows and rows of food, you say. You could just go in and take what you needed. Thousands of things, more than you could carry. She looks at you with complete patience. You stop talking. You realize you can't remember what a ripe peach smells like, the specific warmth of it. The smell is gone. You reach for it, and there's nothing there. You don't say this out loud. The combine shuts down at 17:30. People carry bundled stalks toward the shelters by hand, 20 kilograms per load. The sky goes orange at the edges, pale where it should be dark. Someone laughs, a real laugh, short and surprised, and the sound carries flat across the field. You pick up a sickle. You help carry. 10 years. The shipping container is 6 meters long and smells of pine resin and lamp oil. Someone bolted a timber frame to its south wall 8 months ago, hand-painted on the outside in black road marking paint. Corridor Route 9. Checkpoint 14. The paint is already fading. You don't notice anymore. You sit at the plank desk. The oil lamp throws a circle of yellow light across 400 pages of hand-ruled columns. The ledger weighs 2.3 kilograms. You know this because you weighed it once, for transport calculations. You know things like that now. Outside the open door, scrubgrass and young poplar shoots push through the pale, ash-crust soil. The sky at mid-afternoon is a real blue. Not the thin blue from 5 years ago. A deeper one. Children who were born after the eruption have never seen any other sky. They think this is just what sky looks like. They are right. The woman across the desk has walked 340 kilometers. Her boots are bound at the toe with electrical tape, gray with road dust. 2 children stand behind her, the smaller one holding the back of her jacket with one fist. No registration, no corridor number. Under the rules you helped draft in a cold room in February, she gets no seat allocation this cycle. You look at the ledger. The ash-burn scar along your left cheekbone pulls tight when you frown. You don't feel it anymore. You look at the children. The smaller one looks back at you. She doesn't blink. You pick up the pen. You write the woman's name in the margin, outside the columns, outside the official grid. You initial it. It takes 4 seconds. It is not a revolution. It is one name. You close the ledger. You call the next case. Later, walking the corridor road at dusk, you pass a rusted car door half buried in the roadside soil. Someone has planted marigolds in it. Orange flowers against gray ash crust and young green. You stop. You stood in traffic once, fingers drumming, a podcast about hiking trails. You reach for that person the way you reach for the smell of a peach. Nothing there. You keep walking. She kneels in the field, pinching soil between her fingers, watching it crumble to dust. The sky stretches endlessly blue behind her, unmarked, infinite, patient. She rises, brushing her hands clean on her jeans, thinking only of rain, of next season's yield, of the ordinary calculus of survival. Somewhere to the west, the earth holds its breath, and in her car on the interstate, drumming fingers on the steering wheel, the next person listens to a podcast about weekend hiking trails in Wyoming. The cycle continues.